Okay, let's bring up Why Not. Is Why Not still here?
Oh, Why Not is here. Yeah,
Why
Why
Not?
I don't know if I can even stand up at this point.
Come on, just stand up.
Sit down comedy.
Another comedian.
Yeah.
Sit down comedy.
Sit down comedy.
That's the kind of do. Well. I moved to North Carolina years ago. I couldn't find a good radio station for a long time, and when I finally found 107.5 KZL, they had this ad on there, and it was Elmer Fudd sings the hits of the 80s, and I just loved it. He was going, stroke me, stroke me, stroke, and then he did, I love fucking roll, put another dime in the jukebox, baby. And so I call the station, and I go, damn, I love that record. Can I get it? Where do you get it? And the guy's like, it's just a fucking joke. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And he promised to send me the sound file, but he never did. And I just, now all my friends and I sing, stroke me, stroke. This old geezer, who was a retired farmer for a long time, got bored. He decided to open this medical clinic, and he put a sign outside, and it said, get your treatment for $500. If not cured, get back $1,000. So this Dr. Young in town, who's sure this geezer didn't know anything about medicine, thought, oh, this is a great opportunity to get $1,000 off this guy. And he goes to the clinic, and he says, hey, I lost all the taste in my mouth. Can you help me? And the doc geezer goes, nurse, please bring medicine from box 22 and put 3 drops on Young's mouth. This is gasoline, Young says. Congratulations, you got your taste back. That's $500. So Doc Young's really annoyed. He goes back after a couple of days, trying to get his money back. He goes, I lost my memory. I can't remember anything. Doc Geezer goes, nurse, please bring me medicine for box 22. Put 3 drops in the patient's mouth. And Dr. Young's like, oh, no, you don't. That's gasoline. Geezer goes, ha! Congratulations, you got your money back. That's $500. And now Young, he's lost $1,000. He's pissed off. He comes back several days later. He goes, my eyesight's become really weak. I can hardly even see. And Geezer goes, well, I don't have any medicine for that, so here's your $1,000 back. And Young goes, but this is only $500. And Geezer goes, congratulations, you got your vision back. It's $500. None of his classmates liked him because he was stupid. Especially his teacher hated him. She was always yelling at him, you're driving me insane, Lester. So one day, Lester's mom came to school to check on how he was doing, and the teacher said honestly, her son's simply a disaster, getting low marks, never had seen such a dumb boy in her whole career, and the mom was shocked. And she took her son out of school and moved out of Detroit and relocated to Cleveland. Well, 25 years later, the teacher was diagnosed with an incurable cardiac disease, and all the doctors advised her to have heart surgery, and only one surgeon could perform it at the Cleveland Clinic. So she didn't have any other options. She decided to get the operation, and it was successful. And when she opened her eyes after the surgery, she saw this handsome doctor smiling down at her. She wanted to thank him, but she couldn't talk. Her face started to turn blue. She raised her hand, trying to tell him something, but eventually she died. The doctor was shocked, and he was trying to work out what went wrong. When he turned around, he saw Lester working as a janitor in the clinic. He unplugged the oxygen in order to connect to his vacuum cleaner. Don't tell me you thought this was a heartwarming story about how Lester got to be a heart surgeon. This guy goes to a psychiatrist. Doc, I keep having these alternating, recurring dreams. First I'm a teepee, then I'm a wigwam. Then I'm a teepee, then I'm a wigwam. It's just driving me crazy. What is wrong with me? And the doctor goes, it's very simple. You're too tense. This blonde gets a job as a physical education teacher of 16-year-olds, and she sees this boy at the end of the field standing all alone. All the other kids are running around, kicking the ball and having fun, and she takes pity on him. And she goes over and says, "You okay?" "Yeah," he says. "Well, you can go and play with the other kids, she says. "Well, it's best that I stay here." "Well, why is that, sweetie?" she said. And the boy looks at her incredulously and goes, "Because I'm the goalie?" This guy goes, "I remember the first time I used alcohol as a substitute for women." "Huh, yeah, what happened?" asks his friend. And he goes, "Well, I got my penis stuck in the neck of a bottle."
Yeah.
So this guy with a premature ejaculation problem comes out of nowhere.
Oh.
After the doctor told me I've only got 3 weeks to live, I go, "Isn't there anything you can give me to help?" He says, "Well, why don't you try drinking a liter of olive oil every day?" "Is that going to cure me?" Doctor says, "No, but it'll make your cremation a lot quicker." And my doctor told me today I have to watch my drinking, so I put a mirror in every room of my house.
That's funny.
Until 1961, do you know it was illegal to attempt suicide in the UK, and the punishment was death? This manager hired a new secretary. She was really young, sweet, polite. One day when she's taking dictation, she notices flies open. So when she left the room, she said, "Oh, sir, did you know your barracks door's open?" And he didn't understand what she said, but later on he looked down and he saw a zipper open and he decided to have a little fun with her. He called her and he goes, "By the way, Miss Jones, when you saw my barracks door open this morning, did you also see a soldier standing at attention?" And the secretary, who was quite witty, said, "Why, no, sir. All I saw was a little disabled veteran sitting on 2 duffel bags."
Ooh, that's.
You know where Sally went when the bomb went off? Everywhere.
God.
I have a lot of dogs. I got 3 dogs. And as I'm watching one dog chasing his tail, I'm thinking, God, dogs are so easily amused. And then I realized I was watching the dog chasing his tail. One day I was in the bank and this old lady asked if I could help her check her balance, so I pushed her over.
You're funny.
This guy asked a waiter how they prepared their chicken, and the waiter goes, "Well, it's nothing special. We just flat out tell them they're going to die." If I had $1 for every time somebody told me to grow up, I could build the coolest treehouse ever. I was going to make a gay sex joke, but fuck it. This morning on the way to work, I drove in the back of this car at some lights. I wasn't paying attention, and the driver got out, and it was a dwarf. He goes, "I am not happy." And I said, "Well, which one are you?" There was this prison break, and I saw a midget climb up the fence, and he jumped down and sneered at me. And I thought, well, that's a little condescending. This pastor's wife was expecting a baby, so he stood in front of the congregation and asked for a raise. Well, after a lot of discussion, they passed a rule. Whenever the pastor's family expanded, so would his paycheck. Well, after 6 children, this started to get really expensive, and the congregation decided to hold another meeting to discuss the expanding salary. Everybody's screaming and yelling and bickering, and how many additional children they were costing the church and how much more it could potentially cost. And after listening to him for about an hour, the pastor rose from the chair and said, "Children are a gift from God, and we will take as many gifts as he gives us." And silence just fell over the whole congregation. In the back pew, this little old lady struggled to stand up and finally goes, "Rain is also a gift from God, but when we get too much of it, we wear rubbers." And everybody said, you know, my friend who's really short told me he was pickpocketed. I was shocked. I never thought anybody could stoop so low. There was a recent survey, and it showed that a large number of women turn into good drivers. So if you're a good driver, watch out for the women turning.
Oh.
I went to the airport today to pick up my friend. Apparently, security doesn't like it when you yell out, "Hi, Jack." You know, if women ruled the world, there wouldn't be wars. There'd just be a bunch of angry countries that didn't talk to each other. The police say they burn all the weed they confiscate. That would explain all those donuts.
Yeah.
Relationships. Yeah, the wife says, "Can I get $20,000 to get some breast implants? I'll make them bigger." The husband goes, "Why don't you just rub toilet paper on your nipples?" The wife's like, "Does that work?" And he goes, "Well, it worked on your ass." Are we near the Music Man here, or should I continue? Yeah, we're very close.
Gotta cut it.
All right, I'm cutting me off, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That was fantastic. Thank you. Yeah. All right. And I'm going to come off stage so music can get set up. Nance, you get up here. Those of you who don't know Nance, she's really amazing. She's from Canada, Catboy, just so you know.
I know. Oh, yeah.
Very special.
Woo!